It is an historic night in Manhattan. Former President Trump is a convicted felon after being found guilty by a jury of his peers.
After 5 weeks of testimony, a verdict was handed up in the hush money trial just after 5 p.m. tonight. This is the first criminal trial of a former U.S. president. The jury of 7 men and 5 women ruled Trump guilty on all 34 counts of falsifying business records. During the trial, Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg's team argued Trump was part of a hush money scheme involving adult film star Stormy Daniels. It was all in an effort to suppress damaging information before the 2016 election.
We have team coverage for you set up in Lower Manhattan this evening. We've already heard from the major players in the case, including the former president himself, and DA Bragg just spoke out a few moments ago as well.
CBS 2's Alice Gaynor was one of about 60 journalists with a seat in the main courtroom, and she has been there every day of this trial, which began on April 15th.
And CBS 2's Dick Brennan also downtown right now. They kick off our team coverage this evening. Dick and Alice.
Christina and Maurice, the protesters are still shouting in the park around us, but all the real drama, Alice, was inside that courtroom when those counts were read. What was it like, this really extraordinary moment?
That's right. And, you know, it was dramatic just because around 4:14, the judge came in. We hadn't heard from the jury all day, and he said, I'm going to give them a few more minutes, and then I'm going to dismiss them at 4:30. So the note was at 4:20. We didn't hear it until after 4:30. The judge said, I just received a note from the jury. They've reached a verdict. They would like some more time, about 30 minutes, to fill out the forms. Is that okay? There was an audible gasp in the courtroom from journalists and members of the public because we thought jurors were getting dismissed for the day. That's why that moment in particular was dramatic. However, when the verdict itself was read, it was quiet in that courtroom. All you could hear was the furious typing that journalists were doing. Members of the public were sitting behind me. Court officers had already instructed them no outbursts of any kind, and they were quiet. We could not see the former president's reaction because they cut the video feed. What I mean by that is in the front of the courtroom, they have about 4 large monitors. We are sitting behind him, so obviously we cannot see his face. But if we use binoculars and if we look at those monitors, there's a camera facing the defense table, facing the judge, facing the prosecution, not facing the jury because they are anonymous, but we can usually see his expression if you look closely at the monitor and use binoculars. So we could not see in that moment. Before that moment, he was sitting there expressionless, eyes closed. After the verdict was read, as he was exiting the courtroom, I was sitting close to the middle aisle. So I had a shot of him when he was walking out. He went to reach for his son, Eric Trump, who has been in the courtroom a few times, and his face was red. He was sweating, and he looked obviously very angry. He walked out, and then he addressed the cameras in the hallway.
Yeah, moments later he addressed them. We have that. Let's hear from the former president right now.
This was a disgrace. This was a rigged trial by a conflicted judge who was corrupt. It's a rigged trial, a disgrace. They wouldn't give us a venue change. We were at 5% or 6% in this district, in this area. This was a rigged, disgraceful trial. The real verdict is going to be November 5th by the people.
Alice, you said what the former president looked like as he walked out. What were the jurors doing? Did they look nervous? How were they reacting?
You know, they've kept quite the poker face throughout this entire trial. We really didn't see many expressions, facial expressions from them at all. They've been paying attention, and they exited the courtroom. They did not look in his direction. When they enter the courtroom each day, they also don't look at him. They don't look at the prosecution's table either, though. Sometimes there's one gentleman who looks at him and looks at both tables, but today everyone had their heads down, walked right in, which again is not unusual. That's typically what they do. They're an anonymous jury, Dick, so we don't know if we're going to hear from them because we do not know their names. The attorneys knew their names, but we do not. And some of them, I want to point out, 2 were not born here in the United States. One was from Lebanon, one was from Ireland, and they also have various occupations. 2 are attorneys.
2 attorneys, one who said he didn't know much about criminal law.
Civil litigator and a corporate attorney, and they said during selection, I don't know much about criminal law. So it would be interesting to know how that played an effect in the jury deliberation room, you know, whether those lawyers were able to help at all, but perhaps not, because they asked for a readback of some of the instructions this morning. from the judge's instructions to the jury.
Now, you had 20-plus witnesses there. Some of them, as you described, sort of mundane people talking about ledgers. But then Stormy Daniels would come in another day. Michael Cohen would come in another day. What was that up and down in that courtroom? And you never really knew what was coming next, right?
You know, I think people were bracing themselves for explosive testimony from Michael Cohen, but that just wasn't the case. He kept the same calm tone and demeanor, even as on cross-examination the defense tried to, catch him in certain moments, even though defense attorney Todd Blanche at one moment raised his voice in a really high pitch and, called him a liar. He never broke from his even tone when he was testifying on the stand. As for Stormy Daniels, when she first got up there, she was talking very quickly and a few times had to be told,
They said she
down.
was a little nervous, they thought she was. Yeah.
And she was going into perhaps a little bit of too much detail. The defense was objecting to certain things surrounding the alleged
very
act
tawdry,
between them.
too much, right?
Right. But for the most part, I wouldn't say there was a moment where there were any, major theatrics or drama in that courtroom. It very much felt like just a proceeding that was happening, if that makes sense.
Quite the opposite from the former president, who many described they thought he was sleeping half the time.
Unless you're standing next to him, we can't say for certain he was sleeping, but we noticed his eyes were closed a lot. And actually, I noticed, now I can't remember, the day's been very long, whether it was today or yesterday, his head slumped over at one point, and I thought to myself, he's got to be sleeping. But I don't know if that's by design. We don't know. We tried asking him, the reporters in the hallway, were you sleeping? Do you have your eyes closed on purpose? We don't know whether that was his way of, kind of protesting what was going on. I don't know how that played with the jury. I mean, the jury we can't see his face because we're behind him, but the jury has a full view of everything.
And this is a former president. They had a tremendous weight on them. They knew the world was literally watching. And then apparently, though, like many jurors in New York, they just did their duty, right?
That's right. And now it's up to the judge for sentencing July 11th at 10 a.m. But back to the jury for a moment. You may remember jury selection took 4 days. They would bring in a pool of prospective jurors, 96. I think it was a second pool of 96. Dozens were excused because they were asked if they could be fair and impartial. Many said they could not, and so they were excused. There were a few that seemed to be selected, and then they thought about it overnight, came in. They were very stressed. They were very anxious. They said, I can't do this. So these jurors, what's interesting is sometimes in a trial, an alternate will have to come in for one reason or another. There was no need for the alternates in this trial. Every juror was there on time.
Yeah.
That's another thing.
Early.
I mean, they did their job.
And another thing around this courthouse here, you had Harvey Weinstein trial, or a few, at least some appearances here. Menendez also here, and Trump. I mean, it was somewhat of a three-ring circus going on here, and kind of still is tonight.
And that's the same courtroom where where that trial took place. So same exact one, and he had an appearance yesterday, and they had to move him to a different courtroom. And of course, Menendez, as you mentioned, is around the corner at federal court.
All right.
But right now, it's pretty quiet here, we have to say.
Finally, one more big day in July, and you will be there, no doubt.
That's right.
All right. Christina, Maurice, back to you.
Hey, guys, just one more thing for Alice. I mean, you've sat through every last detail of this case, start to finish. You digested every morsel. Did today surprise you in any way, the kind of speed that this came down with?
It did not, Maurice. Again, we can never predict when a verdict is going to come in, what the jury is thinking. But I said to a couple of people, you're talking to other journalists online in the mornings. We have to get here so early before court even opens. And I said, I don't know. I think it's today. And other people thought, no, it's going to be tomorrow. Some other people, some attorneys and a retired judge thought it would be next week. So it was today.
But again,
I mean, no inside knowledge.
You never know what a jury's going to do, as you know, Maurice and Christine.
Exactly. You never know. Okay, guys, thank you. Excellent work and insight there. We'll come back to you soon. Appreciate it.